Recording is
Just
on.
press record at the bottom. Don't touch anything else. Or else somebody will have no audio.
Yeah, the 3 dots, and then it says start recording.
Yeah, it wants me to save it somewhere. I'm just picking a folder, giving it a name real quick. Allow. Use this tab. Recording is on. Allow. I guess.
Yeah.
Did that work?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're good. Welcome back to another episode of Amped and Unfiltered. Carnivore diet today.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking to my friend Todd today. He's been on this crazy diet for a while now. And like I've known Todd for years and years, and all of a sudden he's on this thing. He's lost like what, 70 pounds, Todd?
Yeah, 70 pounds
he's
now.
like 70 pounds. Every time I see him, he's like brighter, happier. He's got, I don't know what you've got tied down there, buddy, but you are rocking the shit out of it though, right, pal?
Hell yeah. It needed to happen,
why don't you talk?
It was...
So where did it start? What made you just say,
out?
what?
Hold
I'm
on.
changing things.
I don't have them on.
Where did it start?
You don't have what?
Start?
Is he on your screen? Because I can't see him. There he is.
Yeah, he's on mine.
Okay. What led you down to the path of carnivore keto and calorie deficits?
What got me on the path? Honestly, I went to the doctors. I got my blood work, and I was pre-diabetic, and I knew that was a major issue and going to become a huge issue. Along with packing on a ton of weight, it was becoming extremely difficult to stand up, move around, all that kind of shit. And then we made a video that I wasn't too pleased with my appearance in the video, and that kind of struck a nerve. And so, multiple reasons. And then,
that was the hottest gummy bear in the world one, right?
Yeah, the hottest gummy bear in the world.
In my backyard, yeah.
Yeah. Everything was kind of going downhill for me, like really bad. I was disabled. I was fat as fuck, like putting on all this weight and just going downhill. You know what I mean? The only thing I really had going for me was that I had beat all my drug addictions and I was clean. You know what I mean? I was actually clean and sober in my life, and whatnot. So that's kind of where it began. I made a prayer to God asking him to help me out one night, and I needed his help. I was crashing, and pretty much the next morning, next few days, I woke up 6 a.m. in the morning, and walked outside, started walking. I've never been a morning person in my life ever, and I went outside, started walking, and just started rolling around the block. And then I came back in, I sat down, I was watching YouTube, big YouTube fan, and I seen a video by this guy Ben Azadi. And I watched that video, and it just seemed to be all the information that I needed was getting placed right in front of my face. I couldn't miss it. And then I started applying all that to my life. The willpower that I had developed beating all my drug addictions and demons in the past came in extremely helpful applying to the diet and using the willpower towards the diet. But that's kind of where it started.
So do you look at food as maybe another addiction that you've overcome now?
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, as I was dealing with all the other addictions in my life, I realized that I had an extremely addictive personality. I never really paid. I knew I was addictive personality. I never paid attention to actually what it meant. You know what I mean? Like I knew I had it. I never paid attention to it. So once I beat all the other shit in my life, I started thinking, okay, well, what else could I be addicted to in my life? Right? Video gaming, smoking weed. All this shit. Food was another big one, right? And that kind of struck a nerve as well. And I don't like weaknesses like that. I can, you know what I mean, dependencies or addictions and stuff like that. I started to really become really hateful towards that kind of shit, like in my own life, right? And so I started dealing with it at one at a time. You know what I mean? The baby steps, and that's kind of how it all really, the ball started getting rolling. And then I paid attention to that Ben Azadi's advice, and the advice I got out of that guy saved my life. And then I started following the diet, and learning all about it, and then I got really interested in it. When I get into things, I get really into things. I focus intently on them, and I became, now I love studying metabolic processes, diets, bodybuilding, how your body deals with food, how it functions, creates muscle, all that kind of stuff. Really, really fascinates me now.
So, for someone hearing this for the first time, how would you explain your diet in simple terms?
I eat
So
animals.
I eat animals. So I wouldn't I wouldn't recommend you eat a carnivore diet forever. Now there are people that are trying to do this. I've been up in the air about that. I don't necessarily believe it's amazing to eat forever. I do think some sugars and carbs need to be reintroduced, but for weight loss, diabetes, uh, you know, hormone balance, hunger cues, all these things that need to be come into check. The carnivore diet is great, especially for weight loss, because it removes the hurdles. Like my whole life, I packed on weight. I was in the gym for a little bit when I was younger, and I never got super shredded. And the problem was insulin. And what the carnivore diet does is it puts you in a state called ketosis. And what ketosis is where your body uses your body fat for fuel, right? And it eliminates the insulin spike. So when you eat sugar or carbs, you get a spike of insulin. As soon as you eat sugar, your insulin spikes up. You stop burning body fat. So if your insulin spikes up, you go into a state where your body fat gets locked down, and you can't burn it. So for my whole life, I was eating sugar like a bastard, and I was keeping my insulin up, and I just never could burn the weight. And I couldn't figure it out. I was going to the gym. I was doing all the things you were supposed to do that everybody's telling you to do to lose weight, and it wouldn't come off. And it was the insulin, I'm pretty sure. So once I applied the diet, the insulin drops because you're not eating carbs. You stay under 50 grams of carbs a day. That's how you do keto properly. And you have to maintain that 50 grams or less, nothing more. And if you do that, your insulin stays at a really low level. It's never spiking hard, right? And that kind of removes the boundary of burning the fat. Your body is now able to utilize your fat cells and burn them, right? Um,
So, what does
Forgive me if I what?
go on?
So I might pause and lose thought because I seem to be losing thought in mid sentence lately, but
Go on.
we'll get through it.
So, what does a typical day of
So
eating look like for you?
a typical day of
Oh,
eating.
yeah.
It depends. It really depends. So if I'm trying to lose weight and I'm trying to stay in a calorie deficit, right, which is needed to lose weight, then I track everything intently, and I focus. I'll wake up. I also apply intermediate fasting, and that's just to add more to the weight loss thing, right? You don't necessarily need to just eat carnivore to lose weight. It's healthy for many other benefits. But if you're trying to lose weight, you'd want to incorporate a intermediate fasting in there as well. So I'll wake up at 8 in the morning, and I'll drink a protein shake with my coffee at 8 in the morning. 11 o'clock rolls around, I'll eat 5 or 6 eggs with 4 strips of bacon. And I tracked all these macros before, all the protein, the carbs, and the fats, right? I tracked all the numbers before, and I added it all up. So I know it's within the ranges that I'm trying to stay within. So I'll eat that, and I think that works out to roughly 700 or 800 calorie breakfast. And then around 2 p.m. is when I eat my dinner, and I'll eat either chicken breasts with bacon, or a steak, or more eggs. It could be anything as long as there's no carbs involved in it, right? Then you're golden. And I'll eat, I weigh my steaks when I cut them, because I cut my own steaks. I weigh them to 300 grams, which comes out to roughly, I think it's about 800 calories. So there I'm getting about 1,600 calories. The protein shake is about another 150 calories. That puts me up around 1,750. Um, you have what's called a baseline metabolic rate. So what you burn calorie wise just sitting still, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like to stay under 2,000 if I'm trying to burn fat. So 1,700, 1,600 calories a day is where I want to shoot for. And that kind of gives me like a 400 to like 600 calorie deficit gap to burn weight. And every pound of fat, I believe it is 3,500 calories. So you need to burn 3,500 calories
Wow.
to burn 1 pound of fat, whether that's in a deficit. Now, if you're in a 500-calorie deficit every day for a week, you're going to burn a pound or two of fat. I believe it's like about a pound of fat,
Yeah.
right? For 6-7 days. Yeah,
Wow.
500-calorie deficit. So you can go extreme in like 1,000-calorie deficit and you burn 2 pounds of fat a week. But if you are on the carnivore diet, you go into a state called ketosis. And what ketosis does is a lot of people's mitochondria. So your mitochondria, we're getting a little scientific now. Mitochondria is the powerhouse inside your cells, right? It's what gives you the power to your body. Your body creates a power. They create a power. It's called ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is what they call it, and that's the power that runs everything in your body. It's your energy, right? Now, your mitochondria, because people eat sugar ridiculously all day, every day. Now it's in everything. They get stuck in a sugar burning mode, and they stop burning fat efficiently. And what the carnivore diet will do is, because it drains all the carbs out of your body and the sugar, after about 3 months on the carnivore diet, you become what they call adapted, fat adapted, and that's where your mitochondria have all reproduced. A lot of them reproduced, and they start utilizing your body fat for fuel instead of using sugar. So normally you would eat sugar. That's what gives you your energy to do everything in the day, right? But now you're going to start using your body fat from your body for fuel instead of sugar. So what a week would look like with that is, instead of burning 1 to 2 pounds with a 500-calorie deficit, because now your body's utilizing your fat for everything you do, you could drop upwards of 5-6 pounds a week
Wow.
easily, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's high
Well, I
protein.
did
The other thing
the
with
I
is
did the
that
keto diet I didn't do the carnivore diet. I did keto, and I
Mhm.
lost like 30 pounds in 5 weeks.
Yeah,
It
Wow.
just
yeah, it's
came
it's
right
amazing.
off.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's amazing. A lot of people will lose a lot of water weight at first. I believe I dropped like 25 pounds water weight the first week, but then you'll
Mhm.
start dropping even more, right? But yeah, there is an initial water weight that you lose because you're draining all the
Yeah.
water out of your body, right? You're not eating carbs. Carbohydrate, it hydrates your body. So if you're not eating those, you're not hydrating your body.
Yeah.
Another thing you
Right.
need to watch out for is your electrolytes. You can crash your electrolytes because you're not getting enough water in your body. So you have to eat lots of salt and possibly electrolyte supplements to keep your electrolytes up. And another thing, if I want to point out, is if you're there's a lot of people that say to use the carnivore diet for diabetes. If you are diabetic, you absolutely want to have your doctor on board. Now, I'm not a huge person on doctors. I don't think they know all that much about nutrition. I think they get maybe 20 hours or something nutrition training, but you would want them on hand because there's a situation you can get into where the ketones inside your body, the acid builds up, and you get this acid ketosis type syndrome that can kill you. So you really
Wow.
want to be careful if you're actually diabetic, right? If you're
Right.
pre-diabetic, you could drop it really, really fast. I went from pre-diabetic 6.1 down to 5.5 normal in 3 months, right?
Oh
On the
wow.
diet back in the normal range. Yeah.
Mine's 6'7" right now.
Yeah.
Six,
Yeah.
I
seven.
know, right? So my biggest problem is hunger cravings. Like, how do you beat those?
He doesn't get
Ah,
hungry.
yeah, that's actually a good question. I wanted to bring that up. So when you're eating carbs and you're doing that insulin roller coaster, spiking that up
Yeah.
and down, that spike comes back down, and it comes down below normal, and that crash makes you hungry. It makes you tired, all
Yeah.
sorts of crap. Your hormones go out of balance. You get a hormone called ghrelin and a hormone called leptin. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. That's what makes you hungry. Leptin is the satiation hormone, so it makes you feel full.
Mm.
So when you're eating carbs, your hormones, I just feel they get out of fucking whack. They just go crazy due to all the sugar, all the carbs. So what happens is, once you start eating carnivore for, say, a week to 2 weeks, maybe if you're just starting, right?
Yeah.
You want to get into that ketosis state. Now, during that time, you have to eat less than 50 grams of carbs a day. And that can be really hard for people because they get major hunger pains, and it's just really difficult to get through it. But the the carnivore diet, if you're getting those hunger pains, you can eat as much meat as you want for those weeks. If you're getting hunger pains, eat a burger without the buns. Just the burger. Eat a steak. Eat some ground meat. Whatever you need to do to satiate yourself to get through that week or 2 weeks. And what's going to happen after that point is your ketosis is going to kick in, and your body's going to start eating the fat from your body for energy, and it's going to stop asking you for energy, right? So you're going to not be getting those hard hunger hormones anymore.
Yeah.
Your insulin's held back down low. All your hormones come back down into check. You also start creating what's known as ketones. The ketones come from your fat, and it's what fuels your body at that point. They go to your brain, they neutralize the hunger hormone, so that neutralizes that, keeps you satiated. It also cures depression. It's big depression cure. It fucking spikes something in your brain that just makes you feel absolutely great, and that's one of the major things as well. Is it makes you feel amazing on this diet. I've never felt better, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I wake
A
up
lot of
when I'm on
times
it, I
when
feel
you
like I'm
come
20.
over, a lot of times when you come over, it's just like, wow, you look great today. You like your color's good. You just look happy, you know?
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
before you started this, you were always grumpy. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like hating on the
Yeah.
world and blah, blah, blah. And
Well, there's
now
there's more to
minding
that.
the fat is better.
There's more to that, right? There's the disability end of things too, right? I was disabled for
That's right.
15 years. And then at the same time, I came across videos that miraculously helped me cure that as well. So coming out of
Right.
that depression on top of the carnivore diet kind of
Yeah.
compounded, and I was just super happy. But
Yeah.
regardless, I feel fucking amazing on the carnivore diet, regardless. The ketones,
Yeah.
and they make you super sharp. Like you get extremely freaking sharp. Like that movie where the guy eats the pill and he could just do a million things throughout the day. He's just super brain. That's what you feel like. You're extremely sharp in
Yeah.
the brain.
Right on.
So
Yeah.
mentally, you seem like really together on this. How's your approach to it long term? Like, do you continue the momentum, or you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only using it until I get down to the weight that I want to achieve, right? Once I get down to the weight I want to achieve, and I feel like I've lost most of the fat that I want to lose, I'm going to go back onto a sugar diet, but I will control the sugar uh, properly. And that's the other thing the diet will do, is it'll teach you to track and control your calories and nutrients and all that shit properly. So when you do end up going back on it, you know what carbs can do to you. You know how many carbs are in
Yeah.
this thing here. You know how many to stay under. You know what I mean? You can track it a little easier throughout the day. You can say, okay, I've ate fucking way too many carbs today. I can't eat this. You know what I mean? Right. And
Right.
that'll kind of keep you in balance too. Right. So, but I'm going to do that just because I feel like hydration and carbs are better for muscle building. So I plan on stripping my body down, and wherever I land, I land. I'm going to eat as much protein as I can and train to keep as much muscle as I can. But once I'm shredded down, then I'm going to go back and start lifting the weights and rebuild the muscle form that I want to rebuild, right? And build my physique up.
So
He's got a plan.
what changes did you
Yeah.
notice first, physically and mentally?
What changes? Well, the weight started coming off like mad.
Fast.
Uh, Yeah,
Fast.
really fast, really fast. If you go strict on it, the weight will just fly off of you. And I mean, you do need a little bit of activity in there as well. You can't just sit on your ass and expect it to work. There is a required like 7,000 steps a day type thing to keep the ball rolling. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
And you
yeah,
go to the
mentally,
gym
I
a
think it
lot
was.
too.
What's that?
You were going to the gym a lot too.
Yeah, yeah. I was
Yeah.
going to the gym a lot until I sat on this real piece of shit couch. We won't get into that though. Anyways,
So, I mean, let's get a little
So
dirty
true
here because
though.
I've
So
been doing a
true.
little plumbing here. So, digestion. How has your digestion changed?
I've actually never had an issue with digestion ever with anything. However, as I get older, if I go and eat a fucking whole pizza or something, I tend to get indigestion in the nighttime now, but I don't do that anymore. So,
Right?
digestion seems to be pretty solid. I mean, I don't have any issues with. I don't know about other people, but I've always had a solid digestive system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any downsides to this whole diet?
Downsides. Other than not being able to eat carbs, not that I've noticed yet.
Yet.
Now, I'm not an expert on the diet or anything, right? I'm just a dude that's following it, but I'm sure there might be a downside here or there that I can't really think of. But as far as I'm concerned, the benefits completely outweigh any downsides that it may have.
Yeah. You haven't seen
Yeah.
any on you at all. Like you haven't said, "Oh shit, this isn't working," or "This isn't
Yeah.
going good," or no, I haven't seen.
No, and there's not a lot of science out there on the carnivore diet. They're just starting to get a bunch of science in now on it. But people's blood work just completely turns around. Every factor just gets way better. It also beats inflammation. So there's this thing, inflammation with processed foods.
Really?
You eat processed food, any processed food causes inflammation, right? And that's what causes joint pains and all sorts of shit, is this inflammation in your body from processed food. So you have no inflammation on a carnivore diet. So any joint pains and shit like that, it almost vanishes. Because the inflammation. And a lot of people like to say you get high cholesterol on the carnivore diet, and you do get high cholesterol, but cholesterol is not exactly the enemy. There was a lady that just lived to like 117 years old, oldest lady ever, and she had extremely high cholesterol.
There's
The
hope
thing
for
with
me yet.
cholesterol,
Huh?
the thing with
There's hope
cholesterol
for me
is
yet.
people think that that's what creates the heart attack, and it's not the cholesterol that creates the heart attack.
Mhm.
It's the inflammation in your body from the processed food cracks the plaque. The cholesterol rushes to the scene of the crack, creates a blood clot. The blood clot causes the heart attack. So it's not the cholesterol that's causing the heart attack. It's literally the fucking inflammation from the processed shit food that they're serving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now I'm hearing about this freaking tick that they're releasing all over the US, that they're finding that some kind of Lone Star tick or something, that if it bites you, it makes you allergic to freaking meat.
What?
Yeah. Apparently they're finding boxes of hives or something stuck in farmers' fields and
Has
shit
to
all
be
over the
something
USA.
new,
And
right?
these
Has to
ticks.
be something
Yeah,
new.
and of course,
Jesus.
Billy Gates there, he's a big proponent of plant fucking food and all that shit. So, he would want to wipe out that shit. I think they're trying to kill everybody on the earth with the food. I really think they're trying to depopulate the people
Yeah.
with the fucking food, because the food just kills you.
Agriculturally.
It literally kills you.
Yeah.
The McDonald's isn't even food. It's just chemicals that look like fucking food. Like, that's it. But the shit literally just kills you. It makes you sick, makes you die. It gives you diseases unless you eat the proper healthy foods. And now they're trying to like fuck you over from even being able to eat that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it just
Oh,
doesn't end,
totally
man.
get
This
it.
world.
Totally get it. I grow my own garden. My husband does the hunting. I'm happy that way. At least I know what I'm putting into my body at that point.
Yeah. And she lives in Newfoundland, right on the ocean, so she gets lots of
Fish.
fresh
Nice.
seafood. Yeah.
Nice.
So how do
Nice.
you handle
The other thing,
social events? Like, you're a pretty social person. So how do you handle like social events and eating out?
that is a fucking nightmare. Let me
Yeah,
tell
it
you
is.
about that. I was bitching just yesterday about this. So I wish there was a carnivore restaurant or a fry truck, so not a fry truck, but a carnivore truck, some kind of snack truck, something I could drive to and get a snack that's carnivore based. I can't go anywhere and get any kind of snack that's carnivore based. The only thing I can find is like bacon, bacon that's in a pack. Even the beef jerky is shit. It's all got this brown sugar crap in it, and it's got carbs. So like beef jerky's out of the question unless I make it myself. The only other thing is like cheese curds. You can eat fucking cheese curds all day if you want, but
Like when
and I
he
don't
comes,
necessarily worry too much about the fat intake when I'm on the carnivore diet. I keep it low as I can, but I don't go crazy worrying about it, because you're already utilizing fat for your energy.
Yeah.
So it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's,
when he comes over, like he comes for Christmas and Thanksgiving and all those things with us and has for years. And yeah, this year he's just like, oh fuck, I just can't be here.
yeah, and restaurants is another thing too. So if you go to a restaurant, it's kind of difficult. I mean, you can order, whatever they charge now, $25 for a plate of whatever, and just pick the meat off the plate, leave the fries,
Yeah.
all that type of shit. And
Right.
you can do that. You can go to a burger joint and eat, just take the burger buns, throw them away, and eat the burger. Right? They call that a dirty keto, or a dirty bulk if you're a bulk bodybuilder. But that's like a dirty keto. You're eating dirty, but it's still keto. You know what I mean?
You know the recipes that I send you with like the cottage cheese wraps and stuff like that? Have you tried any of
No, I
the
haven't.
cottage cheese
I'm not a
wraps?
big
They're
cottage
good.
cheese guy. I don't like cottage cheese
Me
necessarily, but I haven't
neither.
tried any of these cottage cheese things. I'm going to.
Yeah.
I
I've
definitely
sent you
plan to.
some.
Oh, I know.
And
I've got
like
hundreds of them.
I don't like cottage cheese either, but I made some of those wraps and stuff. And dude, they're really fucking good. And I don't like cottage cheese either.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
No,
they're
I
really
think that
good.
you can. I think it's good. I've heard a lot of people that don't like cottage cheese supposed to be good. I seen something
Yeah.
about. I think it was taking cottage cheese, pouring it in a blender with a monster, and my buddy tried it, said it was great. I don't fucking know, man.
I'm
Really?
good on that.
Yeah.
I'm good on that.
But if you put cottage cheese in a blender with egg, and then you can make these wraps, and
Hmm.
it's just cottage
Yeah,
cheese and egg. And then you
yeah,
can put like everything bagel spice in it or whatever
Yeah.
you want,
yeah,
garlic, whatever. And they're actually really good. Really
yeah,
good. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. And
And
that's
another good
that's the other
thing
thing.
for
I mean,
wraps is slicing zucchini and then just
Yeah.
putting cheese on top of it and baking it. And that can be also a wrap.
Hmm.
Yeah.
oh hell yeah, yeah. The wraps are bomb. The wraps are
Mhm.
freaking amazing, man. Hell
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, do you get any criticism from doing this, and how do you respond to that?
I don't really catch much criticism at all, to be honest with you. Um,
More people interested in
yeah.
what it's all about, right?
More people are probably more interested in it than they are talking shit
Against it.
about it, to be honest with you. Yeah. I just
Yeah.
think not a lot of people fully understand it, right? And I'm not 100% carnivore, right? That's why my shit's called Ketovore, right? Because I'm like 95% carnivore, and then sometimes I'll toss in a couple carbs. Like I might drink a sugar-free monster, you know what I mean, that has 6 grams of carbs, or I might use some spices or barbecue sauce that still has some sugar that has carbs, right? So I'm not 100% carnivore. I'm like 95% carnivore. That's why I call my stuff Ketovore, right?
Mhm. Yeah. And you have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah,
He's,
Ketovore. Yep.
yeah, he's just started a YouTube
Oh,
channel.
you can see the
So
We'll
yeah,
put that in
there's
the
his
description.
yeah,
It's it there.
yeah, and you
Get it
can find that on YouTube.
So, if you were to look back, what would you do differently if you were to start all over again?
from when I was a kid.
Well,
Like
maybe from a kid, but it, as a,
if I could do it over, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. You know what it is? I wish I had nutritional training when I was younger. My parents never taught me nutrition. I don't blame them. I don't think they're bad parents for it. I don't think they knew themselves back in that era. It wasn't a big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd
So I
say
don't
we grew
blame them
up
at
in the
all.
McDonald's era because when we grew up,
Yeah,
it was all the fast foods were just coming into play and everything else. And, it was the era where both of our parents started working. So it was more of a quick meal for the
I
family
gotta
to
take
get
this.
them off to bed type of thing, right?
yeah,
Yeah, fast food ruined a lot
yeah.
of us.
So I wish I had more training nutritionally, and maybe I would have applied it. Whether or not I would have took it into my brain and actually, I probably would have listened, but whether I would have applied it, is a whole different question. I didn't apply a whole lot that I learned in my life till later on, but
Yeah, they do food and nutrition here at the schools, and what I've noticed is it's more focused on a lot of sugary things that they could put into their bodies, and the food and nutrition from what I used to do at the centers and stuff that I worked at, it was food and nutrition, the basic food groups, and yeah.
yeah.
So
I
if
can't believe
somebody's
people
just
feed their kids cereal in the morning, like
yeah,
a sugary cereal.
yeah,
That blows my mind because it's just so freaking bad for the kid. First,
yeah,
it starts them on that insulin roller coaster, and it just gets them go. It's so bad they'll be crashing and
yeah.
everything. I really don't understand
Not only
why they do
that,
that.
but
But
these kids that parents are complaining on, and a lot of them could be in ADHD and stuff, but I promise you, take out the red dye number 5 and some of the sugar that you're feeding them, and they'll level out, because that's what happened with some
yeah,
of the kids that were in the center. We had parents saying that their kids are ADHD, ADD, and this and that. And when we cut out the sugars and limit them to sugars and stuff, you see a change in these kids, right? And
yeah,
autism, it's
yeah,
actually funny because with autism, we give the kids energy drinks and coffee at the end of the night to put them to sleep because it has an adverse effect on them, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
somebody's considering this path, what is the one piece of advice that you'd give them?
If you're gonna do it right. Don't cheat yourself, because in the end, you're just gonna be like, the diet doesn't work. It's a load of shit. If you cheat yourself, you're just cheating the diet. You have to run it properly for it to work.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just it. And it'll kind of, because it takes you a week or two to get into ketosis, right? That week that you need to go through fighting your hunger cues and everything, right? Till it balances out. Um, you don't want to have to do that over and over again. So that week or two that you go through locking in, it kind of holds you in from going and eating the shit to screw it up,
Mm-hmm.
because if you go over that 50-gram carb, you're going to screw it up. You're going to be out of ketosis. You're no longer burning your body fat. You're back to sugar. You know what I mean? And it kind of keeps you locked in. So it's pretty good that way.
Well, how do you keep yourself like the momentum going once you've hit that plateau? Because I mean, everybody does hit that plateau for a little while until it kicks in again. So how do you keep yourself
Which
motivated to keep
plateau?
doing it? It
Like the
stops.
willpower type thing?
Well, no, it means that like you lose a lot of weight and then all of a sudden you're like only losing like a little bit, or you're not even noticing it on the scale yet, right?
Yeah. So I noticed that a little bit. The weight loss will come down, it'll go up, it'll go down. It's like a zigzag. It's not
Mhm.
exactly linear, straight down. It goes down, it goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. And it kind of works like that. Um, Plateaus, I just kind of restrict things more. I haven't hit a hard plateau. I know the weight loss slows down, but I haven't hit a hard plateau yet where I just completely stopped. If I did, I would probably bump my cardio in the morning up a little more, or I would restrict more things. So what can happen is a lot of people will diet, and your metabolism is what burns your energy, is
Yeah.
what runs your fat, burns your fat. So what happens is a lot of people will go on a diet, and they'll starve themselves. They'll literally
Yeah.
eat 1,000 calories a day, only one meal a day. And what that does over time is it brings your metabolism is controlled by how much food you put in your body. So if over time you're only eating one meal a day, you don't eat enough calories, your metabolism is going to slowly come down, and it's going to match the amount of food that you're putting in your body,
Mhm.
right? So you kind of have to regulate it properly. You have to stay within a certain amount with the deficit. You don't want to go too heavily, and you have to make sure that you keep your metabolism high, that you're still eating. You have to, that's the trick, is that you have to be able to eat enough but not put on the calories, right? That's where the
Yeah.
battle comes in, and whatnot.
Now they say that in the morning is the best time. You have to eat first thing in the morning to get your metabolism going. Now, do you eat first thing as soon as you wake up, or do you wait for later on in the afternoon?
I drink I if so if I'm trying to put on muscle, right? If I'm in the gym and I'm trying to build muscle, then I'm going to eat in surplus. I'm going to eat earlier in the morning. I'm going to eat 3 or 4 meals in the day. If I'm trying to lose weight, then it's going to be a protein shake in my coffee in the morning, and then lunch and dinner, and that's it, right? But yeah, there's a difference whether I'm trying, because I'm doing a back rehabilitation thing too, to kind of cure my disability at the same time, and you can't really lose weight and build muscle at the same time. They kind of counter each other, right? Because you have to eat in a surplus to build muscle, and you have to eat in a deficit to lose weight, right? So, yeah,
I
it's
don't know how you keep
it's
all your shit together, pal.
yeah, it's up and down. So I went on a diet and I lost a big chunk, and then I went to try and rehabilitate my back, and I spent about a month and a half now rehabilitating my back, eating in surplus every day, to make sure that I was putting the muscle on that I needed to. And now I'm going to go back into a cutting phase where I'll eat in a deficit and lose more weight, right? I'm trying to maintain the muscle on my body, because when you diet, and I like to diet aggressively. I do a lot of things aggressively. So dieting, I like to do it hard. I like to do it fast. I like to get the shit done, but I know it's not good for me. So I'm trying to maintain my muscle as I do it. You have to keep your protein high too when you're dieting. So you're supposed to eat 2 grams of protein for every pound of body, or every kilo of body weight. 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight that you want to be. If you're 300 pounds and you want to be 200 pounds, then you need to take 0.7, multiply it by 200, right? Whatever the hell that comes to. And that's how much
Numbers.
protein you got to be eating daily.
That's
If you
a
eat less than
science
that,
I
then you
want
start
nothing to do
losing
with.
muscle. Yeah, you'll start losing muscle if you eat less than that, right? You start handing off muscle for weight. That's the problem with the Ozempic thing. All these people using the fucking Ozempic, they're all Ozempic does is create a deficit.
Yeah.
That's all it's doing. Their people are jabbing themselves, and all it's really doing is straightening out their GLP-1 receptors so that they're not getting hungry. That's it. So that non-hunger creates the deficit. All they have to do is not eat the fucking food, and it's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the problem with Ozempic is it crashes their metabolism. It does all sorts of really bad shit, and they end up losing like 40% of their muscle in the diet phase, which is not what you want to do, especially if you're over freaking 40. Like, putting on muscle after you get over 40 is a fucking pain in the ass, because you're
Lose it
losing
too.
muscle every year too now, right? So it's a battle, right? So you really don't want to strip all the muscle off your body when you're 40 years old and try to rebuild it. Right?
So now I'm kind
Yeah.
of understanding it a little bit more. Is this the same type of diet regimen that Jelly Roll had, and the reason why he didn't have so much extra skin, hanging and stuff when he was doing it?
I'm not sure what Jelly Roll used, to be honest with you. He lost a fuck ton of weight
Over
really,
200
Wow.
pounds
really
now.
fast. I don't know, honestly, but what I can say is that what I have heard about the loose skin thing is if you fast, or intermediate fast, there's this thing that kicks in after about 12 to 14 hours of not eating called autophagy. And autophagy is similar, with the way I can sum it up is it's like a little Pac-Man inside your body rolling around, and it's eating all the bad and diseased and cancerous cells that are in your body for energy. So it literally eats the diseased cells out of your body. It literally makes you better, right? And um lost my train of thought.
Jelly roll.
Oh, jelly roll. Yeah. So what I've heard happens is with the loose skin is if you fast, 24 hours once a week, you run an intermediate fasting diet, the elasticity in your skin, that's what when you get the loose skin, it's because it's lost all its elasticity.
Yeah.
The autophagy comes through, it cleans up the cells, and it reworks the elasticity into the skin. So if you do it slow enough and you're not speeding through the weight loss, your stomach will literally shrink down with you, and you won't get that loose skin. That's the theory. I've watched a lot of research on it, and apparently that's how it works. We'll see what in the end, but I'm not getting very much loose skin at all, and I use autophagy like mad.
Yeah, that's my
Excellent.
problem
Well, I
right
just
now.
did
I went from almost
this.
500 pounds down to what I am now, and now I've got all the extra skin, and it's like that's giving me more issues than fucking weight ever did.
Right.
Yeah.
Eh,
So autophagy might help with it. I don't know. It should help with it. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is Jelly Roll, is that what he's saying? He doesn't have that problem with
No, he
all the,
doesn't.
because he lost it
Over
so
almost
fast.
300 pounds.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
lost it
Yeah.
quick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
and
would
that's
think
the
that
power
he'd
of
be
it. I mean,
just
I don't
hanging
know if
there
he's using a freaking Ozempic or whatnot, but
I have,
he lost that shit really
right?
fast, like really fast.
really
But you
fast.
could do that. You could do that on the carnivore diet if you're strict.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can lose fucking so much weight so fast. You know what I mean?
If you know what you're doing and you know the
Yeah, I
science
mean, I dropped
behind it.
60 pounds in the first 4 months that
Yeah.
I was doing it,
Wow.
and I'm up to like 6 or 7 months now. But I've been jumping on and off the diet, so I know a lot about jumping on and off the carnivore diet, getting into ketosis and out of ketosis. I know a lot
Right.
about doing that and tricks like eating as much to satiate the hunger cues and whatnot. But yeah,
I remember
it's
seeing you when you were not on it. You were off of it, and you said, I guess it was a carb week or day or whatever. I remember you saying, "Fuck, man, I just feel like
I've
shit."
seen the post.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah,
Yeah, that too is you feel like I was saying, you feel really good on the carnivore diet because all the processed shit is out of your body. So you're literally
right,
running clean. You're not running polluted like you should be, like you normally are, right? And then as
right.
soon as I start eating any processed shit, I literally feel like crap the next day, like just
Yeah,
straight shit, man. Yeah, it's weird. It's really crazy. I never
yeah.
noticed it before until I, was on the diet for long enough. And then I all of a
Mm.
sudden, I think it was like a bag of chips or something, a pizza I ate, and yeah, I felt like shit.
Yeah, I
I
remember that.
remember that.
And even your body language was not so like bright as you normally,
Yeah.
have been. You can really see the happiness coming out of
Yeah.
you and the energy and stuff like that, right? And that day you
Mhm.
just were like, fuck, you
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
absolutely felt like shit. And you could see that you felt like shit, you
Yep.
know?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that. I remember that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
The
financially,
other thing,
this can't be a cheap diet to go on.
no, no, it's not. It's not at all. It's actually really expensive. Now, if I was going to the store buying all my shit in the store, it would be a nightmare because I'd be buying hundreds of eggs every month, and the eggs that are in the store are fucking garbage too because they feed the
Yeah,
chickens crap. They put dye in the food that they feed them to dye the yolk.
Yep.
It's total shit. They're not real eggs. But
yeah.
I got a really
Got an
wicked egg
egg
hooked
guy.
up from a certain somebody that I know, and
The eggs.
yeah, that served me really well. So I get my eggs really cheap, and then I buy big slabs of meat. I was buying steaks, but that became too much. So now I just buy this. It's like I don't even know what it's called. It's just a big roll of like
It looked like an outside
ribeye.
rounder.
Yeah, but it's like a big fat slab
Yeah.
of it, right? And then I chop that up into steaks and I weigh them out. So I have exactly what I need. I hit the macros that I need. Nothing's over, nothing's under, everything's exact, right? And then yeah, I cut that up and that saves me a lot of money. Now, you'll pay 70, $80 for one of these chunks of meat, and I'll get 12 to 13 steaks out of that.
Right.
And that with the eggs, the savings I'm making on the eggs, that's all I really need to survive. If I really want to. Chicken, I'll buy chicken, a few packs of chicken from the store or somebody else I know, and yeah.
Right. Holla.
Right. Well,
But
I
yeah, it's expensive as hell. Somebody that's not got those connections is you'd be really hard fucking pressed
Yeah,
to run it. And if
yeah,
you're
this
trying to
is what I was
body
saying,
build on
right?
it, you got to eat so much more. If you're trying to build muscle, you have to eat twice as freaking much. You know what I
right.
mean?
That's
The thing is
really
too is the
expensive.
meat. Yeah, the meat's also
Yeah,
super satiating. The thing with protein, meat is the most nutrient dense food on the planet. It has the most nutrients in it, and then other than anything, and it's really satiating. Protein is super, super, super satiating.
what's
It'll
that
keep
word
you full,
mean?
huh?
Associated?
Satiated.
What's what's the word you just said?
Satiating. So it's
What is
filling. It
that?
means it's really
Filling.
filling.
Yeah.
Keeps you
Oh,
full.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
You feel full, right? You're
Getting too smart
satiated.
for me now, pal. The meat's making you too smart.
Yeah, so it's really satiating. It'll keep you full for longer, right? So you can eat, 2 scoops of peanut butter and get 300 calories, or you can eat a 200-gram steak and get 200 calories, and that steak is going to run you fucking 10 times longer than the 2 scoops of peanut butter. You know what I'm saying? The
Right,
protein will keep you full. The protein will keep you satiated and feeling full for a lot longer. Not to mention protein itself. When you eat protein, if you're trying to lose weight, the protein, any amount of protein calories that you put in your body has to use 30% of the calories from it just to convert it into energy for your body to use. So it's almost like a hack. You're literally cutting 30% of your calories off just from the protein intake. You know what I mean? It's because your body's going to cut that to use it. You don't even have to do anything. It just does it, right? So that helps as well to create more of a deficit, more of a keep you dropping the weight.
Now,
right.
why are fruits and well, I can understand why fruits not, but why are like some vegetables not incorporated?
don't really know why they don't eat the vegetables, to be honest with you. I've never really
What?
understood that. I mean, I know some of them have carbs, the sugars,
Yeah,
and whatnot, um, like grapes and stuff
yeah.
and all that kind of
Mostly
stuff.
fruits have the carbs and
Blueberries.
the sugars and stuff, right? But I mean,
But you
Yeah,
were
as
saying
far
that
as
you don't
lettuce and
really
stuff,
eat
I'm
much
not
right?
sure.
vegetables.
Yeah, I'm not 100% on why they don't eat the lettuce and stuff. I never really looked into that end of it, but I just know they don't, right? So I was never big on vegetables myself,
Right.
so it worked perfect for me.
I guess so. Well, I don't have any more questions. I definitely learned a lot today.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's also,
is there anything you feel like you still need to
yeah,
uh
let me add some things. So
okay?
it's also an elimination diet. So if you have really bad IBS, stuff like that, things that you eat screw your stomach up. It's an elimination diet. So it eliminates everything out of the diet, and then you can like slowly add one thing back in, see if that screws you up, and then you can find out what it is that's screwing you up, right? And so that works. I got a couple notes. Let me see if any of them we haven't covered. You have solid energy too. Your energy levels are consistent. So you won't crash. There's none of that up and down crashing shit. It's just solid energy
Solid
because you're
energy.
running off your body fat, right? So
Mm.
you don't have to add more energy. It's just there. It's just pulling
Right,
it, and then you just have nonstop energy
right.
for whatever you're doing. Um, let's see.
I know a few people that are on the same diet as him, and
Mhm.
they've all loved it. I've never had somebody. I think I know 4, maybe 5 people that have done it, and
Yeah.
none of them have said it was shit. You know what I mean? They've all said,
See,
"No,
my
this
issue
is
is my body
excellent."
doesn't digest meat to start with. That's why I'm mostly vegetarian and fish, right? So
Right.
I'm just wondering how my body would react if, say, like, because I
Yeah.
can eat moose and I can eat like stuff that doesn't come from the grocery store, right? So I mean, I wonder if I stuck to like straight meat, but have it like fresh meat because I do know the
Mhm.
butcher. So I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah.
How it would
There's
affect
also
you if you tried
mhm.
it. Mhm.
yeah. There's also there's a little new science that just came out if for people that work out. A lot of people were thinking that glycogen, so when you eat carbs, it stores sugar in your muscles called glycogen, and that so when you do intense cardio hard workout, it taps into the glycogen stores and uses that for energy. um, there was a lot of new science that just came out showing that it actually a lot of people thought that if they they'll go to the gym, they'll eat a bunch of carbs beforehand so they have energy, they fill their glycogen stores. There's a new science that came out that showed that that was actually false, that when you crash in the gym and run out of energy, it's not a glycogen depletion, it's
Oh,
Oh, it froze.
yeah.
it's a mechanism to stop your body from becoming hypoglycemic, where
Really?
your low blood sugar. So that's why you get that crash in the gym. And a lot of people think that you don't create sugar on the carnivore diet. You actually do. Your body takes the fat molecule, which is made up of a glycerol backbone and 3 triglycerides. Okay, it looks like a letter E, right? The triglycerides break off, they get converted to energy. The glycerol backbone converts into glucose, and you get a steady flow of glucose
What a
into your blood. So you'll
scientist
never
you
be
are, pal.
you'll never become hypoglycemic on the carnivore diet, because your body naturally is going to provide you with glucose from the glycerol backbones on the triglycerides.
So I seen one
What a
person on
scientist.
TV. They were on the carnivore diet and they were eating a brick of butter.
Yeah, yeah, people will do
What?
that. Yeah, because you can. There's no
Why?
carbs in it. It's like
I guess
fat, right?
not, eh?
Butter, and you run off of fat on the carnivore diet. A lot of people
Yeah.
say the keto diet, you're supposed to run high fat, low protein. I think it's reversed. You should run low fat, high protein.
Yeah.
But it's really up to if you're
When I
really low blood body fat, then you would want to consume more fat with
yeah,
your meals. But if you have fat on your body to let your body utilize, I don't think
yeah.
you really need to eat much fat at all.
Mm.
Right. When I did the keto, I wasn't because it was like you said, it was high fat, whatever. I didn't really do a lot of the high fat. stuff. Like
Mhm.
I didn't do a lot of that stuff, but so I kind of kept when it says to add, because I was checking out some recipes and stuff, and
You
it would
don't do
add
pork.
quite a bit of butter or and stuff. I would take that kind of out and still
Yeah.
make it because I just don't like greasy shit too much,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. When
So
the
it's
oils too, the seed oils are really bad for you too. The seed oils
right.
that are in shit, you don't want to eat that shit. The seed oils coats your cells for like 2 years. It takes damn near two
Really?
years for the shit to come off your cells, and it'll choke them out pretty much. Is like what it's doing. Yeah, seed oils. Sorry, the
Wow.
butter kind of made me think of that, but yeah,
So seed
yeah.
oil as in
Like
like
canola oil.
okay, and what about olive oil and
No, olive oil. Olive oil is
avocado
good.
oil?
What about
Okay,
eating
because
like
Oil's
that's
good,
nuts
what
but
and
any
stuff
seed oil,
then?
sunflower oil, canola oil, something that comes from a seed is no good. Olive oil is what you want to use. Olive
I
oil
okay,
is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's what I use.
So what about seeds and stuff? Like nuts and stuff?
Yeah, I don't eat any nuts or seeds or any of that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say they're bad for you. The nuts have lots of protein and one in them. Problem is it's not a good protein source because I mean if you're trying to get protein from nuts, you're going to get a fuckload of carbs on top of it, way more than you need, right? So the balance is
Right,
out of whack, right? But
right.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
but I'm
just
a fan of
basically
nuts,
keeping your science down, right? Like getting the science down to
understanding
it,
it
sticking
really.
to it. Huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Just
you really want to
understanding it
understand
is
it, right?
hard.
If you're going to do it.
Yeah. And do you drink a lot of water as well?
I do. I do. Um, I am known to drink sugar-free monsters.
Yeah.
I am known to
Yes.
do that.
I
You
got
know,
sugar-free monsters
I,
too.
I can if I'm locking in and I'm going for a push, I do my weight losses and pushes. I'll go on the diet, and this is why I've jumped on and off in and out of ketosis so many times because I'll burn 10 pounds, right? And so from 280 to 270 on the scale, and that's not like pushing down and waiting for the scale to fluctuate down 270. That's like I step on the scale, the highest it reads is 270. Then I'll jump off of my diet for a week and I'll keep everything in check for that week. I'm not going to go absolutely fucking nuts and eat 20,000 calories, but I might go eat a pizza slice and maybe even a monster with the sugar in it. Who knows? You know what I mean? But then I'll go on, after that week, I'll go back into ketosis and I'll push another 10 pounds, 20 pounds out, and then I'll jump off again. And that just kind of keeps me sane. It's not like I'm trying to run a solid year in this diet. You know what I mean? I can go down 10 pounds, I can jump off for a week or two if I want. Then I jump back on, I go back down 10 pounds and I jump off. Right.
Right.
And that's just how I've been making it work for me anyways. And it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to be too bad. And that also doing that, keeps your metabolism up as well, right? Because you'll be eating in a deficit for say a month or 2 months, then you go back to 2 weeks eating a higher calories, and it kind of brings your metabolism back up. You know what I mean? A little bit, and that yeah. So they say when you're fasting, you're supposed to fast and you're supposed to feast. So there's a day that you fast, but then there's a day that you feast as well to keep your metabolism high, right?
Wow. It's just a science. I can't
Yeah.
believe that you keep a control of it. And so because you read a lot about this and research a
No, I
lot
love
about
it.
it
I
as well.
I study the
Yeah,
shit out of this. I love it. I love
yeah,
studying this shit. Just the fact that I can shred the weight off and manipulate my body now is
yeah.
awesome. I'm
Love
going
that.
to start doing videos on my channel, like surviving on fucking donuts for a week and shit like that. Later on, when once the weight's off, right? Because now I know how to manipulate my weight. If I need to drop 10 pounds, I know how to do it. If I need to come up 10 pounds, I know how to do it. It's not an
Right,
issue. I'm not struggling. I'm not wondering what's the pathway. It's I do this and this is going to happen, yada yada
right.
yada.
So let's say a wedding to go to in a month. And I'm 165, 166 pounds right now. If I wanted to lose 10 pounds, you could help me do that.
Easily in a month.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, easily 2 weeks.
So maybe we should make a challenge.
Sure.
Maybe we should make a challenge and see what because we've tried. I mean, you've tried it on you, right? Like, and you've
Mm.
got it down to a science for you. Maybe we should make a challenge and see if you can help me lose 10 pounds. I'm bad
I
at
do
it.
that easily. You have to follow the diet though. You can't fucking cheat. That's the thing,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
No having Cody bring you
Yeah. It's
Subway
those
and
little tweaks that screw it up. Like if you're making a peanut butter sandwich for the kid and you lick the peanut butter off the spoon, that's like fucking 150 calories, right? It all adds up. It's all the little things, the little snacks here and there. It all
Right.
adds up, and
Right.
it's to
My
actually
problem
stay in a huh?
My problem is I don't eat breakfast and I don't eat lunch.
yeah,
Like my
Yeah, I
problem
know.
is
Yeah.
I don't eat enough food.
yeah.
That's my problem. But I am 165 pounds, but I'm only 5 foot tall too. So I still am not like I'm not thin. To you, Todd, like 165 pounds would be very, very thin because look how
Mm.
tall you are, right? I'm
Yeah.
so short,
Yeah.
165. I'm not small, you know? And but I don't want to be small either. When I did drop a little bit of weight there, I didn't like it, and Cody didn't like it.
Yeah. You're saying Cody didn't like it either, right?
No,
Yeah.
no, he
Yeah.
didn't like it either. But like when I dropped it, like I was about 170 pounds when I started, 170, 75 pounds. And then I went down to like 145 pounds. I don't, that's too thin. Like and at 5 feet, that's not thin either. That's not super thin, but it's not where I like to,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm, that's just not where I want to be. I don't want to be a
Some people
small
have their
little,
comfortable weight, right? And that's just where they want to be, is where they're most comfortable, right? Yeah.
yeah. Can you imagine getting into a bar fight and you're 100 and fucking 12 pounds with 5 foot tall? You're not winning. You're not going to win.
You'd be like that little, I don't remember what his name was, but he was at that coach and horse, that little, I got a picture of me putting my fist up, almost smacking him, right? That
Oh,
security guard. He was like a
yeah.
fucking toothpick, man.
Ian.
Yeah, I think that might be. He was like a
That's the
toothpick, man.
bouncer. Yeah, he can't
Yeah.
even kick his own fucking ass.
I was like,
Every
I was
time
like, okay.
Every time something would pop off, he'd fucking disappear. And then when it's all over, he'd come out, oh, you're all out of here. I'm like, fucking, where were you,
Yeah.
bud? He'd
Yeah, he
fucking run
definitely
and
wasn't going to
hide.
be holding me back if
That's
he needed to.
right.
So I used to
That's
bounce at this nightclub, this strip joint called Alibis in Prince George in BC there. And I'll never forget this one night I was working the trio. It was a fucking Monday night. Like things are usually slow on a Monday fucking night at this place, right? But there was apparently two guys that I didn't know that weren't allowed in there, but I let them through. Well, all of a sudden I start hearing this crash, boom, bang. There's chairs being thrown. We had this one guy that just started the job like 3 days prior, right? Couldn't beat himself out of a wet paper bag even if he tried, right? So he comes running into the thing. And he's like, "You need to go in there and help." So I start grabbing these guys by the fucking legs and I'm dragging them out the fucking door. Got one guy over the door. I'm like, "You get the fuck out now." This guy's in the fucking corner like this. And I'm like, so it was me and then the other bouncer because we were short staffed on Mondays, right? But
yeah.
that was an
Yeah.
entertaining night.
So Todd's going to at some point come over and we're going to do a cooking episode from my house or something. So maybe we should do that for a solid week.
Yeah.
And let's
She
see if
just
you
wants
can
a
get,
chef, Todd.
yeah, Rhiannon came and stayed 2 weeks. That's a chef. Holy fuck. She can
Oh,
cook.
where all your weight came from. I mean, I get blamed for all my husband's weight. And the first husband blamed me for his weight. The second one's now blaming me for his weight. I mean,
She's a very good cook. So
Awesome.
yeah, and then we can see if we can do that 10 pounds, 10
Yeah.
pound, and let's try it and see.
Yeah, it's
Because we
easy.
can make things and then freeze them. We can do a whole bunch of stuff. We can, make a bunch of egg things, and then I could eat that for breakfast. Just take them out of the freezer and heat them up or whatever. Maybe we can make
Yeah.
a bunch of pre-cooked stuff and see.
Yeah.
Because I would
That's
be
it, yeah.
interested. Like when you come and you're just full of energy, you know what I mean? And I'm walking around like fucking Ozzy Osbourne, you know what I mean? Like I want that energy that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
it's
fucking
sustainable.
dog shit on the floor again.
But like the way he walked, like I just got over a
Yeah, I
an
guess you could
episode
compare it to that for sure.
right? So the way I'm
Yeah.
walking now, I don't have the strength that I had, and I'm still building that muscle back up. So I'm thinking maybe, doing some of what you're doing, Todd, might help me build my muscle back up a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they have my doctors suggesting going to these things, these fitness things, but my anxiety doesn't let me go.
Well, I
Like I
sent you
Mm.
cannot
some too that
go
they
to
would have
those
just been doing
things.
with you.
Huh?
Yeah.
I sent you
Yeah.
some that you should be doing too.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe we should just maybe we should try that and see how it
Yeah.
works. But
It didn't take
yeah,
much to start the whole ball. I mean, the activity part of it. I mean, I started walking around my block, and my block is 700 steps.
yeah,
700 steps. That's where I started, and I started with that one day, and then the next day I went at one in the morning and then a night, 700 steps, and then maybe a couple days later I did it 3 times, and then maybe 2 weeks later I was going 2 laps around the block, 1,400 steps, and I do that two or
right,
three, 4 or 5 times a day to rack up 10,000 steps, right? You don't have to do it all at
right,
once. You can literally just walk around the block and then an hour later do it again and again the
yeah,
next hour, right? If you can,
yeah,
and that'll rack up your points. And they say you only need, I think, about 6,000 to 10,000 steps worth of activity to
yeah.
keep your body burning fat
Well, I know
efficiently.
for a
I did
fact.
notice a stall. Actually, I did notice a plateau, and that's when I stopped walking and exercising. And that's when I looked into the whole thing, and I learned that there's actually like a requirement of activity that you kind of need to burn fat.
Keep
You
that
know what I
going,
mean?
right?
So how many
I
Yeah.
know
steps
for
are
a
you up
fact that
to
I do a
now?
lot of steps in one day. I know I
Mhm.
do.
Oh yeah.
I as
Yeah.
my steps, I definitely do. Just going from machine to machine to machine,
Oh
like
yeah. I
back and
believe you get
forth,
a lot of steps in. Hell yeah.
a lot of steps in.
Oh
But
yeah. Yeah.
as for outdoor activities, not much. But
Mhm.
indoor, I definitely get the steps in. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah.
I need to borrow my grandson's fucking watch and see how many steps I do in a day.
Yeah. A lot of
Yeah,
people that work the business jobs and stuff, they'd be really surprised. They'd be thinking they're getting 5, 6,000 steps in, and they actually put a step meter on their phone. They'll see they're only getting like 1,500 to 2,000, maybe. Business
right.
Yeah.
office type people, yeah, maybe. Like
Yeah,
unless you're going out at night doing things all night after you get home, yeah, man. A lot of people think they're getting a lot of steps in, but they're really not. They're really
yeah,
not.
So how many do
Yeah.
yeah.
you
I'd
get
be
in, Todd, a
interested.
day?
What's that?
How many do you get in a day?
I try to get between 6 to 8,000. And so I wake up at 6 every single morning for some reason now. I don't even need an alarm clock. I just
Yeah.
wake up and as soon as I wake up, I put my shoes on, I go out and I walk around the block a few times. I get about 3,000 steps in. Then I go to the gym. I do 20 minutes of cardio there. Now, whether I do steps on the treadmill there and get 2 or 3,000 in there, or I go on now I've been switching to the exercise bike now because it's a little easier on my back, but I'll do 20, 30 minutes on the bike there, which kind of equals out as well.
Mhm.
Gives you get more out of the exercise bike than you do walking on the treadmill, calorie burn wise. So I
Right,
try to create 500 calorie deficit, 250 to 500 every morning on the bike and the cardio, and then I try to stay within a 500 calorie deficit in my diet during the day, and that creates 1,000 calorie deficit. That's going to equal 2 pounds a week. If I'm in ketosis, I'm looking at 8 pounds a week ish, maybe 7 pounds. So
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Well, I'm really
Yeah.
proud of you. You've done really good, and I've seen some huge change in you in not so long. Because when we made that video, it was just before the winter.
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
made the
Yeah.
hot gummy bear video, and you said that was
Yeah.
what had, when you seen that video, you're like, whoa, no, 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 no,
Yeah.
no,
Well, my stomach was falling all out, my shirt and shit. And I was just like, no, I can't have that. You know what I mean? I didn't like the way I appeared, right? I didn't like that. So I had to
Right,
change it, right? And it kind of just made me clue in, hey, listen, you're getting a little fucking out of bounds here. You know what I mean? You got to
right.
reel it the fuck in now. Now, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I think you've done really good, and I think you will, you definitely have the knowledge of what you need to do and what does what, and you definitely have got the science down. So I think you'll
Mm.
I think you'll achieve all your goals.
Yeah,
I
I'm
do.
learning more every day. And like I said, Ben Azadi, if anybody's interested in learning, nutrition, fasting, intermediate fasting, everything that I learned to get me on the track,
Yeah,
Ben Azadi, he's YouTube. He's
Ben
world
is up.
famous, dude,
And
big into the
again,
keto.
before we go, you want to talk about your YouTube channel that you've just
I run a
started?
YouTube channel. Yeah, it's called Ketovore. I cover recipes. I'm going to be covering fitness advice. I'm going to be covering the exercises that I've used on my journey, everything that I've done on my journey to get through from 335 pounds, hopefully down to like 200-ish pounds, maybe 190-ish. And I'm just going to document everything and upload everything. And then I'm going to transition the channel, hopefully, into more exciting things such as like surviving on fucking donuts for a week, or testing all the protein cereals, things like that, expansion.
Right, right. I'd like to have you back again, talking about addiction and beating addiction as well.
Mm,
Like Todd and I have known each other for a lot of years. We were both addicts,
yeah,
and we both have. So I would like to have you back on, for a different topic this time.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I know a
but
little bit about addiction.
yeah, yeah, definitely. We all do. All three of us do. And I think, and
We're
now
building our little community.
Rhiannon is into like addiction counseling and stuff like that now
Oh,
too. So
cool.
yeah,
Yeah, big
yeah. So
supporter of that. Big supporter of that, man. That's
Well,
good.
yeah,
I
Good. Like,
figured I'd take all my experience of being a drug addict and maybe put it to some use to save someone else now, right?
yeah,
Especially with
yeah,
the way
yeah.
yeah.
it is nowadays. I mean, I wouldn't want to be a
Hmm.
Oh,
drug
yeah,
addict today because I probably wouldn't fucking be here.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
So we'll definitely talk about that and we'll have you back on. But I really appreciate you coming on and talking with us about this and
I really did learn
enlightening
a
the
lot.
world on your wisdom. Huh?
I really did learn a lot, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, he's over here quite a bit, so we talk about it a lot. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know me, I don't understand shit really.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
especially all his big fucking words he's got.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like that's why I wanted to have him on because it's a really interesting thing, So I figured a lot of other people would
Well, it's
really,
interesting. It's new. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
you know, it's the new fad, right? So I mean, you got
yeah,
to inform
Yeah.
people at least the proper way of what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
And that's what's really
right.
Yeah.
important is getting the proper information out and not
Yes. I don't
Mhm.
want to see
wrong,
everybody on Ozempic. So,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's on that GLP-1. It doesn't matter if
Yeah.
it's Ozempic or it's something
what's
else.
that?
And now they're all
Yeah.
getting like Skeletor faces and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
know
What's
that the heroin
GLP,
chic
whatever?
rage was still back, right? Like,
Yeah. There's a new kid on the block too. They're called peptides.
yeah,
It's almost like steroids,
yeah.
but there's a new one called Ratatouille that a lot of people are boasting about on YouTube. There's like barely any testing done with it. It does shred fat off of you, but there's no testing done
Yeah.
with it. Go ahead and stick that shit in your body if you really have a brain. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Maybe 20 years ago, but not today, right?
Yeah, like if you're gonna stick something in your body that has no testing, you're a fucking retard,
Right.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
No, look for that
go ahead,
FDA
Bill.
approval.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So what's that thing you just said? G something?
GLP-1?
Oh, the new peptide,
Yeah, what's that? What's GLP?
Ratatouille. Ratatouille. It's almost like Ozempic, I guess. It's the same type of shit. It's a fat burner.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like the new steroids. Or these like it's like a new steroid, but they're called peptides.
Uh,
I don't know the full science behind them. I just know there's one called Ratatouille that's a big weight loss thing right now, but I know it's dangerous. There's no
I don't know.
no
You hear
studies
something like
behind it.
peptide, it almost sounds like it's smart enough that you're supposed to have it in your body, right? So, I mean, maybe that's where they
Yeah,
start to get
right?
you.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them that people are using for building muscle, and they're working really, really well. But there's some that they're using for fat loss that aren't tested. So you
hmm
know,
You might want
if
to
you want to
stay away.
test it, go ahead and stick it on in yourself.
Let us know how it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All
All
right.
right. Well, thank you for coming again, and we will catch up with you again soon. And everybody can,
So everybody can follow us, like us, share us, whatever,
Yeah.
on at Newfie Barbie, Hampton Unfiltered.
yes, and
Oh
then
yeah.
go and check out Todd's channel, the
Ketovore, right?
Ketovore. Yeah.
Ketovore
Ketovore. Yeah.
on
I'll put
YouTube.
the links in the description for it, and as well as
Okay, perfect,
the one that he says to
Awesome.
follow as well. So
perfect.
thank
Awesome.
you so much for
All right.
tuning in. Everybody have a wonderful night. I am going to go do my
Awesome.
plumbing job some more.
Right.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
guys. Peace.